Hi. So I had this idea to do Christmas cards in 20 minutes or less because I have 4 kids and I need to make things go as quickly as possible, especially when it comes to my card making sometimes. Sometimes I have a few free minutes and I need to maximize that time. So I thought, some people might really like to see how I come up with a card that I can make in 20 minutes or less. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm hoping to make this into a series where I do this a couple times a year, maybe once a month if I can get my stuff together and my kids cooperate with me. But so one of the ways that I save time when I'm making my Christmas cards is to come up with a layout beforehand. I lay out all of my supplies. I come up with a really kind of rough sketch, and I use the supplies that I have on hand so that I'm creating them as quickly as possible. So for today's card, we're going to create a Slimline card. It's very simple. We're going to be utilizing the Eggplant cardstock from Concord and Ninth and this Turkish Nights embossing glitter to create these pretty sparkly poinsettias, and using this Colorado Craft Company, what is this called? Big and Bold Slimline poinsettias is what this is called. So we're going to use this, and we're going to use this. This is just a panel of Slimline cardstock that I have cut down, eggplant cardstock that I've cut down to Slimline size, and we're gonna make this card. Okay, so I've got a little timer going here so that we know exactly how long we're spending on this, and I'm just going to get started. I have my Misty. We're going to be using this Turkish Nights glitter embossing powder from Wow. Now this stuff, I find it extremely important to use an embossing tool beforehand because you don't want to get that glitter all over your cardstock, and you want to make sure that everything comes off nice and neatly. So I've got my Hero Arts embossing ink, and I've just placed my stamp where I want it in my Misty. The whole point of this is that we're going to let these super detailed stamps do the work for us. We're not going to focus on coloring these, even though these are super fun to color. We're just going to let the detail of these beautiful stamps do the work for us to create this easy Christmas card. Okay. Now look at how beautiful that is. Look at that sparkle. So let's heat that up. Okay, so there's our beautiful sparkling Christmas poinsettias. So I'm going to put this back in my jar, which I know you're not supposed to do that, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay. So let's put that over here. Close this up before I knock it all over my desk. Still at 6 minutes and 44 seconds. All right, so now these are perfect for doing slimlines because they fit perfectly in either corner. And they hang over just the slightest bit over the edge, so you can kind of decide how far you want them to come down. Okay, so we're gonna liberally add more of this powder. Hit our stamp with the Hero Arts embossing ink again. I love this stuff. I just re-inked my pad too, so it's nice and juicy. I am going to do this twice just to make sure that I get a great impression and that the embossing powder sticks really nicely. All right, so let's do this again with the Turkish Nights embossing powder. So beautiful. I chose the Turkish Nights because it has little kind of rose gold purpley glitter flecks in it, and I thought that would work nicely on this eggplant cardstock from Concord and Nights. All right, so we're done with the Turkish Nights. Now we're going to emboss our sentiment here in the center. I've decided to kind of flip the orientation of the card base a little bit since it fits better in my MISTI this way. Make sure it's straight. And then we're going to treat it again in the center with the heat, the embossing buddy. We're at 10 minutes 44. So now I'm just going to emboss this again. This time we're using platinum embossing powder. I thought that this would nicely complement the sparkly embossing powder, but I want to do a little bit of ink blending over the center of this greeting to try to make it pop a little bit more. And the sparkly embossing powder, when you ink blend over the top, it kind of, oops, I got a little crazy with the embossing powder there. It kind of makes the sparkles come off. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, so you can see we've got the embossing buddy stuff all over the place. So I'm just going to take my microfiber rag and wipe. You can see how the sparkles kind of come off a little bit when you wipe, so you want to be gentle with it. All right, so now we are going to take our, here's my purple. So I've got my purple Picket Fence Studios brush, blending brush, and I've got Eggplant ink from Concord and Nights. This is the complimentary ink for this cardstock. And I'm just gonna ink blend in the center a little bit, just to make that sentiment pop a little bit. Wipe the ink off of the embossing powder. Get a little emboss resist going there. And then we're mostly done. Wipe a little bit more of that embossing buddy off, or embossing powder stuff off. All right. 14 minutes. We are at 14 minutes. I'm just gonna use my T-square and this Faber-Castell copper pen. And I'm gonna draw some lines on the side just to kind of accent it a little bit more. This is a metallic pen, so it shows up really nicely on this dark cardstock. And there's that. And then let's add some embellishments. Going for kind of a rose pink gold look here. Just add a few little gems. So I've got some, I think these are called espresso from Pretty Pink Posh. We've got 3.5 minutes left. There we go. 17.5 minutes. A pretty Christmas card. Now I just have to glue that down to a slimline card base and put it in the mail. So I've got more ideas for these, so I hope you'll join me the next time I post one, hopefully tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys.